All right, it's ready.
Thanks.
Do you want to refill yours too?
Huh?
You want to refill yours also?
I mean, are you doing it?
You make them so well.
Oh, bullshit.
What are we waiting for?
Oh, I'm ready. Sorry.
That's okay. I can chuck that off afterwards. I always cut off a bunch. Welcome to Buddies and Banter, the Uncensored Podcast, where our topics are raw, our opinions are strong, and our filters are definitely off. Hey, everybody. How are we today?
Amazing.
Look awesome.
Sweet. Carol?
I'm okay.
You're
Just okay.
I'm okay. It's like, I'm okay.
I had my first drink
She's
at 8:30
tired.
this
We had an
morning.
action-packed weekend. Oh, I forgot about that.
8:30 this morning?
I forgot.
Yeah, I
you-
had a PTA meeting
She
this
was
morning.
glazed.
I was the only one drinking. Well,
Was it a mimosa or what?
yeah.
Okay. I mean, that's okay.
I mean, it was mostly bubbly, but, you know.
That's okay.
I just do a
But
little spray gun.
was this give it out or did you bring it yourself?
No, so we had it hosted. One of our moms hosted it at her house. So she had like a big breakfast buffet of like little
That's an awesome
things.
mom.
Oh, she's amazing. She was my co-chair for events last year.
Sweet.
And so, of course, she had a bottle of bubbly there. And I was like, why is this not open? So I opened it.
And you were the only one who drank it.
Yes. Everybody else wanted coffee. I
Well,
don't
you
drink
kind of
coffee.
just showed your true character. Love it.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
I mean, I got 2 kids.
Hey.
I need it in the
Well, not
morning.
only that's PTA. I mean, that's got to be a hectic thing anyways. I mean, I would
Yes.
never want to have done that. So,
Yeah.
I mean, is the PTA still? Is it a big organization like it used to be?
Yes.
Oh,
yeah,
it is?
it's pretty huge now. I mean,
I'm a
and
member.
then you've got the Mothers of Liberty or all of them involved in, which are all the crazy ones.
Yeah, 2 weeks from Thursday, we have our fall festival fundraiser kind of thing. The kids are with their
What's
dad.
the goal?
I don't know, to raise as much funds for the rest of the year as possible.
Gotcha.
That's how they pay for, the field trips and buses.
Yeah.
and
So a lot
all
of
that.
money.
So I think last year they raised, I want to say it was like 22,000.
Wow.
You know what always amazes me about schools, and I get that extracurricular activities and things like field trips and stuff like that. Sometimes you really need to give a little bit into it, but even like the school teachers who have to actually supply their own rooms and stuff like that of their own pocket, and it just amazes me how we actually are really selling our kids short. To be honest with you, and taken out of the pockets of school teachers.
Yep.
Just it's ridiculous, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I do a teacher gift at Christmas time and the end of the year, and it's all extra school supplies that they'll need.
Well,
for
you
the
see it on
following
Facebook
year.
just before the season, the school season starts. You're flooded with like, here's my Amazon link. If you can help out for whatever you can. I mean, and I really feel sorry for them all, and I definitely cannot donate to all of them. I mean, it's just crazy. It really is.
Yeah, I didn't get one for Ethan's 7 teachers that he has starting middle school, but
You get
Emma's
one
teaching-
from each one,
I did not get one.
but you possibly could.
Yes,
Well, yeah.
they teach all different subjects.
You know what? Teachers. I'm just kidding. Everyone calm down. Jeez, everyone calm down.
Now you're sounding like the eliminating the Department of Education by the
Everyone calm
Republicans.
down. It's an exciting time to be a Republican right now.
Is it?
It is.
Now, is that a rhino or a Republican?
I don't know, man, but they know how to party on a boat.
Oh, gotcha.
Yep.
Was their grinder going off too?
I got a flag coming in the mail. I got underwear. I got matching socks.
Yeah, okay.
I'm excited.
The interesting thing about it is, and we were talking about this the other day. There's somebody up the street here who has their Trump flag going out there.
Wait a minute.
Yeah. That was a Freudian slip.
It was.
And he says, and I told him, I was like, yeah, I'm going to come out and put a sign in your yard. And he's just like, yeah, don't.
I'm just saying, I'm not getting political. I'm just saying Republicans have more fun.
I don't know if that's actually true. We just covered up better. I guess I outed myself as a Democrat. Anyhow, everybody, if you haven't noticed, especially as our lead in there, we have actually changed up our actual podcast just a little bit here.
We did?
Yeah, we did. And
sure?
Yep.
You were there for it, weren't you?
Yeah, you were.
Oh, wait, there was like 20 different takes, so it's just like
not quite 20 different takes.
I lost interest after the first one.
Actually, that's why you kept doing the whole like... as if you were like one of the people on the sets or something like those lines.
Well, I just figured whenever you stopped talking, I just would go.
Is that like a seal?
A seal smells like the cut, like when they do the movie,
And
the
cut.
little slate thing.
Yeah. Anyways, and we're going to do some change up as we go along. Some rebranding, new logo. Also, the name is now changed to Buddies and Banter, the Uncensored Podcast. It used to be Buddies Booze and Banter.
Does that mean we still don't drink? We don't drink anymore.
Unfiltered conversations, but we still do drink. And trust me,
we just don't advertise it.
Well, it's not. It wasn't just because of that. I mean, it's just we do want to go a little bit more mainstream and see how we can go from there. But I mean, it was just time to kind of condense it down a little bit.
Mainstream doesn't drink?
That has nothing to do with the alcohol part about mainstream. It actually had to do about the podcast aspects of it.
Okay.
Come on, get on the bandwagon. And in
I
addition,
just asked a simple question.
And in addition, we're going to do some more structuring of the actual podcast and segments. And our first segment today is going to be called The Spin Cycle, which if you all know that I love politics.
Yep. So what else do we have to look forward
I
to
thought
as well?
that meant washing machine, like the spin cycle on the washing machine.
Yeah, that comes from your old age.
Speaking of the washing machine, I just found out the other day, you're supposed to put the washing detergent in the little cup, in the little trough.
Well,
I've been just
Only if you
pouring
have it. I don't have that.
See, I have the trough.
I use the pods. I mean, he uses...
but do you just throw it in the middle of the thing?
Hell yeah.
See, that's what I've been doing.
You
But
don't
somebody...
put the pod in the
No,
thing.
because it won't dissolve.
You put it in, but
It's
if you have
only
a
if it's
trough,
liquid.
you're supposed to put it in. It
No,
is
the
liquid.
Only if
the
it's
liquid.
Right. I have
Yeah.
the liquid.
Okay,
Oh,
so
my God.
therefore you do have to do that.
Yeah, so I've been just...
Sorry,
I mean, you
folks.
don't
I
have
know
to.
we digressed. On washing
And we're
machines.
out of time.
Thanks, Mike. Appreciate that.
Hey, I was just an honest question I had. I was just like, you brought that up. I'm the one that just said that's what it sounded like.
In addition to our segment of the Spin Cycle, which is politics, we're also going to talk about the Benchwarmer Banter, which is all sports. And as we know, we have our sports fan here.
Thank you. Oh, I'm not the sports fan.
No,
Michael's the sports
I wasn't
fan.
pointing to you as a sports fan. I was pointing you to do the actual.
Well, no, but you were pointing to him like
Yeah,
he was
like,
a sports.
I was pointing to
I'm
you
the
to
guy.
do
You
the,
wanted the sound.
I wanted the sound effect. I
mean, I'm the one that knows the stuff about sports.
Can you pass the
and
cheese?
hence the reason
No.
why that I wanted the actual sound effect, because I have tickets.
Don't spill it.
Thank you.
Well, even if I don't have tickets, I still know the most about sports, especially with this crew.
And in addition, our final segment today is going to be about pop culture, which we actually going to call the pop culture panic. But let's kind of jump back to the beginning of the Spin Cycle, and not a washing machine, Michael. And we got a lot to talk about. We are
That's
about
windshield wipers.
yeah, exactly. I mean, I tell you, his sound effects really suck.
It's making her laugh.
Well, I think the stupidity of it is. But
That's funny.
we are about 24 hours out from the actual first debate between Kamala Harris and Cheeto Man. And we got a lot to kind of like mesh around there in the 10 minutes that we've got, particularly in this segment. Michael, what are your opinions about going into this? I know that you and I have had a lot of conversations about what she needs to do, what to expect out of him, how we anticipate this is going to be kind of like seen in the whole end of it.
I mean, she's got the most pressure on her because Trump, no matter how he does, if he did bad, he's going to say everybody was against him and everything else is. She's got to just to prove herself that she can go up against him.
Yeah, the thing about that is, and I've been reading a lot online, especially on some of the social media platforms like Threads and Twitter and shit like that. What I'm seeing, though, I mean, to your point, a lot of people are saying that, but what's being driven from that perspective is the media. The legacy media have the double standards. They're never calling him on his crap.
No, I get that.
And they're basically saying that's who he is. That's always who he has been. What are we going to expect? And you're like, oh, she's got to go out there. She's got to show strength, and she's got to cut him off and things. And
No, she doesn't need to do that.
Well, yeah,
she needs to get under his skin.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
that'll rattle.
But that's
That's
just
gonna
the
be
part
hard,
that
though.
I'm just saying.
No,
is
it's not.
There's no expectations for him. I mean,
No, they know exactly what he's going to do.
and I mean, and the media is not holding him up
He's
to
gonna
the
call her a
same
bitch.
example or whatever.
See, the interesting thing about it is, and which is kind of ironic, he is currently politically the individual who's had the most debates on the scene at this moment. And I'm talking about across the board.
Presidential debates. He's had
Exactly.
the most.
He's had them. Well, I mean, even in the primaries when he did it back in
Well, no,
2016.
they
and
were
all
just
that.
talking about presidential debates.
Yeah, I mean, he's had the most. So there's a lot of video out there of what he's done. Not only against his GOP primary candidates, but also against Hillary Clinton,
Right.
about Joe Biden, and now he's going to, and of course the second Joe Biden one that we just had in June of this year. So she's had a lot to look at, and she's really trying to prepare apparently for his kind of like racism, his misogynism, his sexism, and all that shit that he does.
All the other isms.
Yeah, all the other isms, and we talked about this, Michael, and I think we agreed on this one, is really getting under his skin. And you, Alex, you just said it's not going to happen. It will happen. There's two ways of getting to it: his age and his cognition skills, which are, I mean, his age. He's the oldest presidential candidate ever. Now
He is?
Yes. Now that Biden dropped out, he is the oldest presidential candidate ever. So this whole shit that they started to pile on to Biden, it now lands on him.
Well, so here's what's he'll be president, and in 4 years he'll be like Joe Biden, all like blah, blah, blah,
Well,
blah, blah, blah,
with all-
No,
comatose
he's
and
already
weird.
that way now.
With all due respect, if he wins the election, he won't last the 4 years.
I don't think so either. I wouldn't know how you have the ball sack to run for president after you got shot in the ear. I'd
Well,
be
first
like,
of all,
fuck
because he doesn't want to go
this.
to jail.
Well, first of all, we can really get into a whole nother conspiracy theory whether or not that was actually legit.
Well,
Have you seen the ear?
No, I haven't seen the ear. You think it was like a little pop?
AR-15 whizzes past your ear. It would have taken the whole goddamn ear off, number one. It would have caused a concussion, and he has not even a scratch on that ear now.
Oh, if I would have gotten my ear just scratched, I would have been like a bitch. You know that. I would have been
Well,
a baby.
Most men are.
Exactly.
my ear.
Exactly.
Is it
You
gone?
know, and I mean, it's controversial, but I still think it was a setup.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't. I mean, there's nothing that's really come out about the attempted assassination.
yeah, like you've heard nothing about it. It'll probably won't even be in the.
But
the
we
history
but
books.
we know
It's just
more
not-
about the actual mass shooting that happened in the school in Georgia already.
Right. So I
About
don't.
the shooter and the parents.
Oh,
We
right. Yeah,
arrested
yeah,
the
gotcha.
father. We know nothing.
Dude, that's the second time the parent has been convicted, right?
And
Well,
not
he hasn't been
he's
convicted this
indicted.
time. He's just been indicted.
so, but that's the second
Second
time
time.
that
And
the parent is now
The
responsible.
interesting thing about it is when Michael and I were talking about that particular thing, saying when is this going to stop, I actually said the parents need to start being arrested and charged. I mean, it's a 13-year-old kid at the time that he handed the AR-15 to him. Bought it for Christmas for him.
Yeah, yeah.
and this
no,
is
that's
after the FBI has already talked to the parents.
Yeah.
Already said that he'd been posting things on social media that raised concerns.
Right.
And then all of a sudden, I mean, we are lucky that, and I hate to say this because it's just horrible to say. We're lucky it was only 4 people who got killed and 9 people who were actually injured.
Right.
I mean, we really are.
And actually, it was like, I think the victims, the shooter's mom called the school like 30 minutes before.
I find some flimsiness about that and saying that she drove 200 miles. She didn't call the cops. She called the school.
Yeah.
And she had a 10-minute conversation with the school, apparently. And was like, first of all, she's a convicted felon herself. Multiple times.
Right.
Maybe that's why she didn't call the cops.
I mean, listen, your kids, I sent you a text message indicating something extreme.
There are some very not smart people in the world.
Well, no, there is. It's called the MAGA cult members. Let's be honest.
Well,
You know.
they go
And there's
from
lots of
both
them. There's
both
millions of them.
spectrums. There's
Right.
both spectrums.
Well, I would agree. There's both spectrums that are extremists, but I mean, in this case here, I mean, this infatuation with guns just drives me nuts. It just definitely drives me nuts. But anyhow, back to the whole debate and exactly trying to get under his skin. Again, talk about his age. I mean, and literally, I mean, there's no doubt. If you look at 2016 and 2020 to now, he clearly has decreased in his ability to coherently string a sentence together.
Right.
I mean, we're talking about Hannibal Lecter. We're talking about sharks. We're talking about, electricity coming out of the. I mean, you name it. He's talking about it. That is like, what the hell is going on with this guy?
Right.
I mean,
And the thing about it, he rambles for 90 minutes, Mike.
oh, I get it. No, and with nothing.
And nobody is calling him on his shit from the actual legacy media.
People are walking out. His MAGAs are walking out.
Yeah, and I will say there's only one network currently right now that's actually even remotely saying something about this, and that's MSNBC, and it's only two individual anchors on there that I've actually seen more of. I mean, Nicole a little bit, but I mean, you've got obviously Lawrence and also Joy Reid. Joy Reid's telling you like it is.
Yeah.
I mean, she's no bars hold. She's telling like it is. To be perfectly honest.
But if you go back and look at the first debate earlier this year between Trump and Biden, I mean, Biden was horrible.
Absolutely.
Total horrible. But if you go back and look at that debate now and just take Biden out and just concentrate it on Trump, Trump was shitty.
Yeah, and that's a very valid point.
But he got away with it just for the fact is all of it was on Biden because Biden was so bad.
The focus just went on Biden, and the legacy media again had the double standards and didn't do an analysis of exactly what Trump was doing.
But that could also overcompensate. I mean, make Trump overconfident because he says, "I did such a great job on that first one."
I'm pretty sure he's going into the debate tomorrow night, pretty confident that he's got this. I mean, just as a couple points here, I want to kind of read some of the negative things. First of all, he's claimed that she just became black. I mean, the woman went to Howard University. I mean, she's the largest black female sororities in the world, has been for years. Insulted her intelligence, says she's barely competent, said Joe Biden's smarter than her. She's not smarter than all. Falsely claimed that she couldn't pass her bar exam, which she did fail the first time, but then she passed it the second time. Basically said that and then he posted a photo of her and Hillary Clinton, implying, funny how blowjobs impacted both their careers differently. I mean, this is the type of individual who is currently running for president.
That's just nasty.
It is. I mean, but these are the type of insults that if she really gets under his skin, he will display tomorrow night. He won't talk facts. He won't talk policies. I mean, if anybody saw the actual question we had at the Economics Club the other night, where they talked, and the question came about how you're going to take care of child care, and he rambled on. Ultimately, the CEO who really asked the question, at the end, she basically said, well, it was kind of insult, and he basically said, child care is not that expensive. Hey, Kara, how much is child care?
$800 a month.
That's minimum.
Well,
for
that's,
one
That's the
for
cheap
you.
side. That's the cheap side.
Yeah.
And that's,
I mean,
that's
it's up
state
to
subsidized.
$15,000 to $2,000.
Yeah, I was.
You know
I was
how much Caitlin pays?
Caitlin, our sales manager.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know how either.
Hers is an in-home daycare.
Yeah,
so
but I think it's still like $250 a week, which is
It's outrageous.
that's only $1,000.
yeah, no, it's $1,250 on a 5
Yeah,
week.
but that's still a half a morttage in some cases.
Yeah,
I'm more like a third.
I was
Caitlin's
paid-
mortgage is $3,000 a month.
Yeah.
For,
Well,
for a 1,500
Obviously,
square foot house.
your interest rate's pretty high.
8%.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah. No, when
I'm
my
not telling you anything she wouldn't tell you.
when my kids were in daycare, I was paying almost $2,000 a month.
It's ridiculous. I mean,
But I did have them in a really, really good daycare.
oh, okay. So what if you put them in a shitty one?
I was paying $180 a week for that, and my son refused to go
And why?
because he hated his teachers.
What were they doing or not doing?
They were just yelling at the kids the whole time.
So, I mean, in order to get decent, or in this case, legitimate, intelligent child care, you're paying $2,000 a year, $24,000, well, give or take, depending on how you use them in the summertime, a year.
Yeah.
Outrageous. That's what people pay in rent and mortgages. I mean, and this son of a bitch stood up there and basically said, child care doesn't mean that.
Child care is child care.
Yeah.
And then he said, but the numbers that y'all are talking about are so small compared to the ones I'm talking about.
Coming from somebody who had nannies
because
and
my
chauffeurs
tariffs
and
are going to
maids.
bring in so much money.
Which is
that
another bullshit.
We're going to basically have no debt in the next couple of years and all that stuff.
But to the point, and this is really what pissed me off about that entire kind of question, and after it, the entire audience gave him applause. And then she went on the next day on a news broadcast and said, "Well, I was really disappointed in his answer, and he basically just blew it off." It's like, but you gave him applause. So again, you're giving him a pass. You're not holding him accountable. Why?
He
As a
never.
CEO?
I mean,
Michael, that's not my point.
Well, no, I
get
know,
that.
but
That's
he
not my
d-
point. I know he gets away with it.
Answers the
So,
question.
But my point is, I'm sick and tired of people saying things behind his back after the fact. You ain't got the balls to say to him. Why? He's just a 70-year-old diaper-wearing girdle man. I mean, what the hell?
Well, I would love to see Kamala tomorrow say, when he goes on his little, rambling or whatever, says, well, you never answered the question.
Oh, he never answered any question.
Well, but
He doesn't
I hope
Are you
she-
gonna actually watch like the whole thing, or are you gonna catch the cliff
no,
notes?
Well, we're gonna
No.
we're gonna do it because obviously we're talking about the podcast.
No, what I meant was, are you gonna actually sit and watch
Yes. Yeah.
like
Yes.
end to end live?
Yeah.
Yes.
Ugh.
Yes.
So it's an hour and a half.
Fuck that. No, I'll
Okay,
catch the
okay.
YouTube
He
version.
barely makes it through a movie.
Well, again, I'm a political junkie. You know I'm going to do it.
Yeah, but the suspense, it's like just, and the nominee for the best actor goes to.
Well, that's an award show. I mean, this here is I'm
who does it go to?
literally going to watch a legitimate professional woman speak on how she can make things better for us in the
I mean,
country, and an idiot.
When the first debate between Biden and Trump, I was hoping we were going to get like State of the Union,
Right.
Biden, but it's like
Which was still a little weak.
Yeah, but 5 minutes into this, I told Rick, I said, this is a disaster.
And it was. I mean, we were
And then
cringing.
10 minutes into it, it says, this is the first time I ever thought Trump was going to win the election.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
I
then
mean-
5 minutes later, it's like, Trump's won. He's going to win.
I was a strong supporter of Biden, and I was cringing and saying, "Oh, we're fucked." Just simply because he was. Now, as much as I say that he was, off his whatever, I also blame his team. They should never have scheduled it the way they scheduled, especially with his travel schedule, going over 7 time zones and then
Right.
doing a fundraiser and all this other bullshit. Anybody.
But-
I've traveled the world. I have jet lag.
In the whole time that Trump was talking or whatever, he lied on almost everything he said.
Didn't make sense at all.
Except there was one time he did tell the truth. Biden was answering some kind of question and lost his train of thought and everything else is. And then Trump said, I don't know what the hell he just got through saying.
I don't think he knows what he said either. I mean, he was right.
And it's just like and that was the only true thing Trump said the whole entire time.
But anyhow, it's going to be an interesting debate, and yes, we will watch it 100% all the way to the beginning to the end, and we'll obviously watch some of the.
I got
pundits.
I got high hopes on Harris.
Well,
but there's a lot of pressure on her, and she's got a lot to prove.
I think that back in 2020 when she was running in the primary for president on the Democrat ticket, I wasn't exactly impressed with her. And I never followed her career at all. Then I saw the DNC. And I've seen her speeches and her rallies since she became the nominee. I'm impressed with her. I think that she actually has the backbone and knows how to handle this. And I think that first of all, the number one thing that's going to be his problem in his mind is she's a black woman.
She just turned black, so why would that be a problem?
Turned black.
What?
She just turned black.
So why would that be a problem?
Well, because then she's a woman. And
Maybe she just turned
she's
into a woman.
nasty and she's this, everything that falling behind like he did on Clinton and all this other crap. So anyways.
if Trump says anything about you're nasty and all that stuff that will not go well. It worked for Hillary.
It literally will rile up the entire black population.
Well, it'll also do the entire women population too.
She's a smart woman who's obviously has a 21-year career in law enforcement and politics. She knows exactly what she's doing.
Right.
She has more experience than he does in politics, to be honest with you. So anyhow, the last thing on this particular, there's 2 parts in it. Is this, he's lost $4 billion on his social media platform, Truth Social.
Yeah,
It's down to 18. It started at $80. It's down to 18.
Per share.
Yeah, per share. And
bad.
this on 2 days
18.
after the debate, so Thursday, he's able to cash out if he wants. So he went from $6 billion to nothing almost.
Well, no, he's still I think around $2 billion.
Maybe $1.5 billion. Who
But
knows?
once he starts selling those shares,
Well,
it's
and
going to even go down further.
Not only that, there's so many of those like suckers who bought into it and saying, I've lost my life savings.
But they're all MAGA people.
Well,
so
you
who
shouldn't
cares?
be doing that in the stock market. If
But these
crypto's
are-
way
these-
the fuck down.
These are
also.
MAGA people, so it's like
Well, not only
they're
that,
going to get what they deserve.
It doesn't even have $2 million worth of revenue on an annual basis and has lost $400 million a quarter.
Yeah.
What the hell? The numbers just don't mesh. Let's be honest. And the last thing that I want to talk about in politics is of course, one of my nemesis, and I hate him, is, of course, Elon Musk. I mean, this guy is just fucking lunatic.
I got to ride in one of those cyber trucks 2 weeks ago.
It's got to, well, first of all, it looks disgusting. I mean,
It does. The steering
They're
wheel is so little.
ugly.
Well, I'm just talking about the outside. I haven't gone in the inside.
No, yeah, it's goofy.
I mean, I don't want to. I mean, that is definitely somebody who had no toys when he was a
But
kid.
if Trump
or something.
wins, isn't he going to clean up all the mess?
That's my point. He's obviously put him on his transition committee, and they're going to do an efficiency review of the entire government. This son of a bitch, who's never had an idea and stole all his ideas his entire life, is going to do an efficiency thing. You know, I mean, I guarantee you, one of the first things this racist will do is say, remove all the black people.
Yeah.
He's a South African racist. It's that way. Not only that, I mean, have you been seeing his posts on social media, on Twitter in particular, or X, what do you want to call it, where he's posting all these AI images of himself in like all these different costumes and like, oh, I'm the I mean, just crazy shit.
Yeah.
He obviously is really big into AI, and I've always said this from day one when AI was even first talking about, you get a multi-billionaire who's involved in that process, you cannot trust them. It needs to be governed. It needs to be regulated. And you're going to give this to somebody who is being classified as of today to be the first trillionaire in the entire world. That is opening up not just the United States, but the rest of the world to something that we never want to deal with.
Yeah.
Mark my words. Mark my words. If he's put into something like that, this country is going down the drain. Anyhow, segue now.
Well, I was just going to say, we're at 25 minutes now.
Yeah, I know that. Well, we're playing with it. We're playing
So
with it.
it's like, do we want to end this and then get up another one?
Well, then I'm going to have to pump. Yeah, we can do that. We can do that. Yeah, folks, we're going to actually, then this particular podcast, we're going to do actually a double header today, and we're going to talk about, some sports stuff, because we've got lots of sports to talk about, and then, of course, we got some pop culture as well. But we appreciate you spending us on our new version of Buddies and Banter's The Uncensored Podcast. I'm Rick.
I'm Michael.
I'm Alex.
Kara.
I'm a huge man. I am. Pickett. I just thought since we were at 25.
No, it makes sense.
Because
Makes sense.
there's